So now I've taken about 1 cup of oats and we're going to grind this to a fine powder in a mixer. And once that is ground, we're going to transfer it to a large bowl and we're going to be adding half a teaspoon of baking powder, whisk it in well, and this becomes our dry mixture. So the baking powder has to get well mixed with the ground oats. Now for our wet ingredients, in a separate bowl, I've taken about half a cup of butter, which is at room temperature. It shouldn't be melted, but it should be nice and soft. Now to this butter, I will be adding 1/4 cup or 1/4 cup of regular icing sugar as well as 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and we have to whisk this in very well. You can also use an electric mixer or a hand mixer, but this is very key to this recipe, that both the sugars get well incorporated and into the butter and become into a very nice smooth paste. Now once that is done, that is once the 2 sugars have got well incorporated into the butter, we are going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla essence or vanilla extract, as well as 2 tablespoons of milk to the mixture. Now your milk can be room temperature, it can be cold, no problem with that. So just add about 2 tablespoons of milk and again mix this into a very smooth paste. This becomes our wet ingredients. Now this is a complete veg recipe. There are no eggs used in this recipe. It's just few ingredients. We've done with the dry ingredients and these are our wet ingredients. Now all we have to add is the choco chips. So now first we're going to add all of these wet ingredients into our dry ingredients. And then goes in the most important component, which makes this cookies so very delicious, is the choco chips. Now I'm adding about half a cup of choco chips. You can add even 1 entire cup depending on how much you want to add to your choco chips. So now mix all of this very, very well together into a very nice soft dough. Now choco chips and brown sugar are easily available online, or you can get them at Crawford Market if you live in Mumbai city. You can get them at Nature's Basket. You can get them in almost any of the general stores. Now this is a good time to also preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. Now if you can't get your hands onto choco chips, just take some dark chocolate compound and just cut it up into small pieces. That too does the trick. So we're going to leave our dough aside for some time, about 5 minutes. Now here I've just greased a baking tray with some butter, and I'm going to be putting a butter paper or a baking sheet or a parchment sheet onto the baking tray. Now this is our dough, which has been sitting aside for about 5 minutes to rest. Now all we have to do is just form little cookies. Just take a little bit of a lime-sized shape and just roll it out into balls and then just flatten it so it resembles a cookie. Now you can also make this mixture and just refrigerate it, and whenever you feel like making choco chip cookies, you can make them. This dough remains in your refrigerator for about a week, in your freezer for about 2 weeks. What you can do is put it into some cling wrap or some plastic wrap and just refrigerate it. And whenever you require it, just open it up, roll it out into small little cookies and just bake it. Now for the quantity that I'm using, I got about 12 cookies. Now on my channel, I also have choco chip cookies, that is the regular one using all-purpose flour. Even that is an eggless recipe. You can go and check that out. I will leave a link of it in my description box below. And I also have a recipe for choco chip cupcakes. Now that has egg in it, but that too is delicious. I will leave a link for that too in my description box below, so you can just go and click it. Now all we have to do is just place these cookies into our preheated oven and bake it at 180 degrees for about 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, we're just going to take it out and let it rest on a tray. And our oats choco chip cookies are all ready to eat. This is a very healthy version as it doesn't use any all-purpose flour. So do try out this recipe, friends. And do let me know in the comments box below how you liked this choco chip cookie recipe with oats instead of using maida or all-purpose flour.